In this video, I'm going to run through the pros and cons of the DJI Action 4. I'm also going to answer the question, is this the perfect travel camera? If you don't want to watch the whole video, the short answer to that question is yes, it's incredible. But yeah, let's run through the pros. Pro number one of the most important things to consider while making the decision to purchase a camera is the size and weight of the camera. It soon adds up when you're carrying around a DSLR or a mirrorless camera with a lens. You know, you can easily bring a few lenses and that is pretty heavy. So I love the size of this camera and I also love the weight. It's so much lighter than any camera I've ever used. And I've used quite a few cameras and yeah, it's brilliant. You can hold it out like I am right now and not have to worry, and it doesn't take up too much weight in your backpack. Another pro to this camera is how reliable it is. I have never, touch wood, had an issue with this camera. And when you're filming and recording your travels, that is the last thing you want to worry about, is if it's frozen, if the memory card is broken. Never had an issue with this camera. I've had a couple of times where I've been snorkeling and it's got confused with what side's up, but then you just reset it and it's fine. But I've had a GoPro and I had just issue after issue. I had to pull the battery out and put it back in, which isn't great. Another pro, just as we're here, we are next to a factory here. We're just south of Cairns, and it's pretty loud. So another pro I absolutely love about this setup and the ecosystem is this microphone right here. So this should be isolating my voice. I'm actually really interested because that is very, very loud. I'll just switch this mic off so you can hear what it would be like without this microphone. So this is it with the microphone off. Yeah, that factory is very loud. And I really wanted to make this not a super polished video because if you just want to go out and record your travels, you're not going to be thinking about the settings. So yeah, that's the factory and it's very loud. There's also a bit of wind, which is really good for testing. So that is one of the cons of this camera, and I'll get into that towards the end of the video. Yeah, these mics from DJI, these are the Mic 2s. I've also got the Mic 1s, they're brilliant, but these actually connect via Bluetooth. So there's no need for an adapter or a receiver, which is awesome. Actually, let me turn this back on because that's probably quite loud. So you just turn it on and it should. That just auto-connected, I didn't have to do anything. How cool is that? It's just amazing to have Bluetooth connections. Now it doesn't work 100% of the time, but I would say it works like 95% of the time. If it doesn't work, you just reset it and it connects, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, these are very, very good. And I'll have links to the camera, the mics, everything in the description. Next up, we have battery life. So the battery life on this camera is incredible. I can easily shoot a whole video just on one battery, so I can go out for a few hours. This isn't gonna be an overly technical review, but yeah, I can easily go out for a few hours and not have to worry, which is what's kind of important to me. Another great thing about the Action 4 is the Adventure Combo Kit. You get this battery pack, which is unbelievable. You can see here, this charges all 3 batteries. It has light indicators letting you know which one has the most battery, which honestly, it sounds really simple, but if you're doing any extended filming, really consider the Adventure Combo Kit. I really rate it, and yeah, it's well worth it. This is very clever because it can determine what battery will be charged the quickest and then give the power to that battery, a bit like a DJI drone. If you have the Fly More kit, you'll know what I mean. It has the same or similar technology, which is really cool. It also comes with this selfie pole, which actually this will be a really good test to see if it cancels out, this mic cancels out the car noise, because we're walking basically along the road here. Yeah, this selfie pole is really good. It extends pretty far out, and I think you can erase this in post, so you can actually make it look like it's a 360 camera, I guess, or like a drone, which is pretty cool. But this is a really good extension pole, yeah, and it comes with the Adventure Combo. Speaking of this, these adapters on the top of the selfie poles, amazing. So you can buy these extra ones, and you can put these on anything with a GoPro mount, so you can tie that on and you can move the camera around really easily. It connects with magnets, so it's really easy to do, and then it clicks in place, and this is not going anywhere, which is awesome. Yeah, that's just another pro, is just the quick adapter. I know with GoPro, I think anyway, you still have to buy the adapters, but DJI just honestly think of everything. It's quite incredible. Another pro is this is very easy to use. So I like the camera so much. My partner H actually ended up buying one. We've both said this is just super easy to use. Anyone can just pick up the camera, hit record, and make a really nice looking video. Like, this isn't color graded. I don't really do that with my videos because I think the DJI, just the natural colors just look really good. Which brings me on to another point, is the picture quality. I mean, you tell me in the comments, is this good picture quality? I think it's brilliant. If you're comparing this like the GoPro, which you've probably heard of, the GoPro is very saturated and it's a certain look. The DJI is a bit more natural looking. So it really just depends on what you like the look of. But yeah, personally, I love the look of the DJI over the GoPro. But again, that's so subjective. Let me know what you think. Now, I do have Rachel's camera here, so I can show you. It does have a pretty large touchscreen on the front, which is actually really helpful. I didn't realize how helpful that would be until you want to see yourself. The other cameras I've used, this tiny, like on the Go, this is bigger than the GoPro, and you can frame your shot easier. So yeah, really important. One other thing I forgot to mention, one other pro is the Rocksteady stabilization. I mean, GoPro and DJI and most cameras now are just incredible. Even the iPhone, even phones have got great stabilization. So now, just like every camera has its pros and its cons, let's talk about the cons. Oh, this is a kookaburra. If you haven't heard this before in Australia, it sounds like they're laughing. Not sure if the mic's picking that up, but anyway, got distracted. Con number one is there's no zoom on this camera. Well, there is a digital zoom. You can go in, I think it's like 2x, I'll show you. So while you're filming, in the bottom right-hand corner, so this is the zoom. It's a digital zoom, so it's pretty much cropping in on the image. And it's something, but to me, I don't personally use it. Yeah, look, it's not really a zoom, in my opinion. If you really want to zoom, you want to, you know, go in from far away. And that's where I use my iPhone. So the iPhone 15 Pro Max, the 5x zoom lens is unreal. I know Samsung have got really good zooms on their phones. Again, personal preference. I prefer the way the iPhone looks. But let me know, are you team Samsung or team Apple? Let me know in the comments. So yeah, it doesn't have a zoom. I just use my phone because I've always got it in my pocket. So between this and my phone, to me, that is the perfect travel combo. The other thing about the DJI specifically is the focus range. So what I mean by that is if I go up close, it doesn't focus in on the subject. You have to be quite far away. And I also don't like that everything's in focus all the time. That's more of an action camera versus a more dedicated camera, which can actually create depth of field, so it blurs out the background. I really like that. And if you do like that, look at the Pocket 3. But again, that's a completely different conversation because I love how reliable and durable, I didn't speak about it in the pros, how durable this camera is. You know, most action cameras are pretty durable. The Action 4 is very durable. Like I've dropped this, I have cracked the lens once, but you can easily replace them. That's also important. If you are looking at action cameras, make sure you can replace the lens. Okay, now with a action camera, where it can really struggle is different lighting conditions. So at the minute, I'm in bright sunshine. For action cameras and phones and everything with a smaller sensor, you do need a lot of light to make the picture look good. The Action 4 is surprisingly good in low light. Not as good as the Pocket 3 or like a camera with a bigger sensor, like a 1-inch sensor, but I'm really hoping the Action 5 has a 1-inch sensor. That would just be amazing. What that will enable is better low light, better picture. So yeah, fingers crossed. It's rumored that it's going to come out pretty soon, so I'm looking forward to it. I think as well that the cage could be slightly better. I don't know, it's good, like it really protects the camera and it's really simple, but with the introduction of Bluetooth mics, how amazing would it be if it had like a little hot shoe here which you could slot your mic into? Yeah, I think that would be awesome if that was a thing. That also brings me on to my final point, which I really liked about the GoPro. I really like the GoPro Media Mod. I just thought that was just such an easy solution. It's bright here. Especially for something, yeah, which you can just turn on and start recording on. It's a little bit annoying with the Action 4 that you need a microphone to be connected. There isn't like a media mod which cuts out the wind noise. That is slightly annoying. It would be awesome if DJI could make a media mod. I have seen people use wind slayers, which is like a foam housing to put around the camera. I want to get one of those, and that can cut out the wind noise. Then you've got to connect a mic. But yeah, anything we have to plug in a mic and doesn't make it waterproof, I don't think is the best solution. So yeah, everything has its pros and cons, right? Okay, ironically, the microphone wasn't connected that whole time for the past 5 minutes, so you may have heard a bit of background noise, but I think that leads really nicely into the point of the media mod on the GoPro is so easy. You don't have to connect a mic. You have to remember to turn this microphone and the camera and speak into the mic, whereas if you're just holding it with the media mod on, it is, in my opinion, a bit easier. So, but then with this, you can walk away from the camera and still be heard. So everything has its pros and cons, but I think a media mod for the Action 4 would be great. A wind slayer is a good alternative. I just don't like taking the doors off and plugging external mics in because that connection can come loose. The media mod was really solid on the GoPro. Okay, so that wraps up this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. What does the picture quality look like? What other cameras are you considering? One other thing I need to note is this is coming through the mics on the Action 4 because for some reason this mic isn't connecting, and I'm not sure if it's when the DJI is low on battery, but I thought I'd let you know. But in summary, absolutely love this camera. I think it's an incredible camera, which is reliable, it's durable, it's small, you can take it anywhere. This paired with an iPhone or a smartphone for the zoom and also the close-up shots to be in focus and to create any depth of field and background blur. I think this is, that's just such a good combination. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow.